Hey, welcome to Full 42. So you're laughing at the new adjusted intro there?
You would think as co-host I would have some idea what the fuck is coming, but I never do. I never do. My laughter is genuine. I had no idea.
Part of the fun of being my co-host is I'll throw some stuff at you. We do that to each other, though. You know,
What was your thing? Something was in the trash?
Yeah, a board game. A board game was in the trash. Yeah.
That's funny. That's good.
Yeah, the little eggheads. I get tired of them. I figured we'd throw our faces in there, and people have to put up with our faces anyway, so why not in the intro as well?
Makes sense. I like it. Howdy. Good to see you, Alan. Usually on day after daylight savings, you're usually late because of our stupid thing with daylight savings and how you don't have it, but glad you're here on time.
Nice.
Oh, cool. You're on. Oh, that's cool. Interesting.
Awesome.
It should be fun.
Oh, nice.
Andrew. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, so we are talking about the best games of 2012. That's really kind of like a big year for board games. If you look at the list, I mean, there's even a list of what I know to be well-loved games beyond this that I just didn't put on my list, but I know like other people, really like those games and stuff. It's a huge list of still strong games today. So
yeah, I think so. I agree. There was a big jump when I was going through it. The ones because I rank them from top to whatever. I don't rank them. I order them on BGG from highest to lowest, and there were a lot in the top 1,000, and then there was a wicked gap until the 2900s, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I wasn't being too picky. There are a lot of mainstays on this one, and then a couple I've talked about, but a couple that were I don't know, not on the top of most people's list that I thought needed to be talked about a little bit more. But yeah, it's a killer list.
I mean, everybody's heard of what's on my list, I'm sure. Maybe actually number 6, if that one gets played in case we step on stuff, some people might not know that one. We'll see.
Interesting.
But I mean, it's not that hidden. In fact, it got a second edition pretty early, so But
that came out that has a second edition that I know you haven't played yet, and you should.
Oh, okay, interesting. So we'll talk about that. We're going to do some announcements. We got a Luca painting, I'm sure.
Shit, it's upstairs.
So while Mike runs up and grabs a Luca painting, I also have something prepared for him. So not before, but a few episodes before, I did a quiz for him that was, what is the last line of? I told him what the last line was. I just spoke it of every Marvel movie, and he had to tell me which movie it came from. He did horrible. I think he got 3 out of 20. So then I decided to make it easier, and I did the first line of every movie. That was harder. I think he got 2. No, he got 3. Or either way. So this time, I'm glad you're back because I'm going to describe to you the new quiz I got for you this time.
This should be great. This
time, I've done Marvel movies again. You'll have to figure out which Marvel movie it is.
Okay.
I know Marvel movies, so that's the best ones to do. I guess I could do Star Wars. That'll be afterwards. But I did what was said right after the 42-minute mark.
Yeah, this is way better. Way better.
Some of them are going to be pretty easy because I didn't edit out names or anything. Some of them are going to be like, no way. But you get guesses, and of course the comments get the guess too. So we can do that before or after probably after. We'll do it after the list of top 5 games, since we've told people that's what this is all about.
Okay.
So cool. So I got a little bit of quiz fun for you afterwards.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you look like it.
Yeah, it should be great. It's
Um,
very specific, right? Like whatever was going on after the 42-minute mark could be
yeah, I didn't
something.
edit anything. Like, some things are just too specific, and you're like, oh, it's obviously this.
Right.
But for the most part, a lot of them are just like, that could have been anything,
Okay.
So we'll see.
All right.
And then I wrote down a little bit what it was, so I can tell you what it is after you guys. So,
After I show that I have no idea what I'm talking about.
well, we'll see if you got better than the first line or the last line.
Yeah.
You just need to go rewatch the Marvel movies again.
I do. Yeah, we should also. I don't know if we do it tonight or set up a different show. We should talk about Agatha.
Oh yeah, Agatha was great.
Yeah.
No spoilers, obviously. Well, we can maybe even if you want to at the end of this, we could talk about it. Like give people a chance to leave if they haven't finished it yet, because it was just over last week.
We can set it up with next week, like actually do a show and do like a trivia question or something, and so that way people know it's a spoiler. I don't know. We could do it at the end of this too.
I just want to do it at the end of something so people can leave in case they want to be spoiled. I don't want to do it in the middle, otherwise we'll lose people. But yeah.
If you haven't seen it, fucking go watch it. Jesus, it's so
so good. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So happy with it. And I posted something in our Discord today. The link's in our description, by the way, if you want to join our Discord and talk about stupid stuff like we do. But I posted something in it. It was just funny because what was I didn't make it. I found it, but it was basically lesbians? Yeah, Star Wars makes a show about singing lesbian witches and everyone hates them for it. And Marvel makes a show about singing lesbian witches and everybody loves them for it. Yeah, thought that was funny.
Yeah, it's sad that fan bases can control so much.
Well, but they shouldn't, right?
No.
I mean,
nope.
When it comes down to it, Star Wars buckled under all the hate, and Marvel says, "Screw you, we don't want you as people," and they come out better for it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that every time haters bark at Marvel, they double down. They're like, "Screw it, everyone's lesbians."
Everyone's not singing. It's all musicals and it's all witches.
Yes.
That's it. No, if you haven't watched it, watch it. First they dropped 2 episodes for the premiere, and then they ended with 2 episodes,
which was excellently done. Such a good choice to do that.
Yep.
So yeah,
they're worth it. They're all. I think the shortest is like 36 minutes. The typical Marvel fashion, anywhere from 48 to 36 minutes. They're not, and they're fun. They're not. They're really good. Like it keeps you in it.
The song that's sung in there, of course we're not doing spoilers, but the song that's sung in there, I can't remember how it goes now. Down the Witch's Road.
Yeah.
It almost kind of sounds like Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same notes, but it kind of like flows with it a little bit. I think it's interesting. I wonder if that was on purpose or
Yeah, that whole thing, the way they weave that in, and the storylines, the whole thing is really it's phenomenal.
It is. Yeah.
But
we're not here to talk about Marvel. We're not here to talk about. Well, I'm always here to talk about Marvel, but we are going to talk about the board games of 2012. But first, we want to do any announcements. So I got to ask you if you have any announcements, because I got nothing, of course.
Never. You need to specifically find something to talk about.
We talked about it. I'm going to come up with something. It'll be boring, and you've got something awesome like the fundraiser behind you.
Yeah. Yep. That's 2 weeks away. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun.
Is there a link that I can put in the description for people to find out more about that?
And there's a Facebook event if you want to link that. If they hop into the T-Spawn Discord, they can ask. There's a channel there.
Good. Yep.
There's a tomorrow. I don't know if Bailey's watching, but tomorrow Bailey and I are going over the exacts, like the specifics of stuff. There's something fun she worked out. Local to us, there are 2 people that are doing a one-off D&D campaign. One's a level 5, one's a level 4. If you come in with a character, that's good, but they're just doing a one-off, and they're doing whatever their storyline is. But this is a fundraiser after all, right? So we're raising money. So the thing is, you can donate to re-roll your checks.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
a
you
smart
roll,
idea.
yep, or we might let people donate to make someone else re-roll their check. So I thought that was a kind of no. I still have it. We haven't done it yet. I thought that was a cool way to engage and still help at the same time. So you can donate to force somebody to roll something you don't want them to do, or re-roll your shit, because I would re-roll. I'd go broke because I roll like garbage. Yes, I thought that was kind of fun. We have a golf
Except for that one time, right? Whenever you don't want to, you're gonna.
Yeah. Right, of course, it'll be a 20. Yeah. When you roll for the monster, that's usually when I roll well. There's that tabletop golf game. It's got like a little ball bearing with I don't know. It's a tabletop golf thing. Huge tiles. You set up the hole and then you flick it, kind of crokinole style.
Oh, okay.
Down the thing. John is running a tournament in that where you donate to enter the tournament, and we also have the full all-in Andromeda's Edge pledge. That'll be part of the raffle. So yeah, that's if you're semi-local. It's November 16th. It starts at 10 a.m. and it goes till 10 a.m. the next morning. There'll be other stuff, and if you're on the Discord channel, there'll be a channel is dedicated to that, so you'll see more of the information that we're coming up with.
Speaking of Andromeda's Edge, I get to play again this weekend. I get to show it to my brother and sister, and I won with 5 points over Aaron, which was awesome. But it was my first time playing 4-player in an actual one.
Oh wow,
there's a lot going on. 4-player.
Yeah.
I'm used to 2-player. I've done 3-player, but not 4 in real life. Didn't TTS, but that's different.
Right, sure.
Yep.
Wow, that's cool.
It is long at 4.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's a good one though. It doesn't feel long. Like even when we played it, it felt good paced, regardless of
right.
Always happening.
Yeah, and you're engaged in that person's turn a lot of times because they're like, and you get an energy and this, and there can be long turns that you're like, oh man, are you still going? But
sure.
Then you have that long turn too, and it feels awesome. But anyway,
it usually does.
Didn't mean to turn that into a AA thing.
Whatever.
That's my only announcement that I played.
That's a good announcement. You got to
play that in Concept
again. Oh, Concept is fun.
We played Concept again. We play it so much that, like, I think everybody that plays Concept ends up having their own version of the game, which is interesting. The rules themselves even say you don't have to follow these rules, just blah blah blah. And so the way we do it is everybody gets 2 cards, and then we do a round for it. There's 9 different words on the card. We do 9 rounds. Everybody gets to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But you get to choose which number 1. So you got the 2 cards. Yeah. You go, oh, I'll do number 1 here. I'll do the number 2 on this one, number 3 on this one, number 4. Right. Gives you something to work with.
Right. So you have to do a 3, but you have choice.
Yeah, and I usually try to pick the harder one because that's more fun.
Sure. Yeah, it's a good one. I like the way that works. I mean, you play a lot. You play online. You play a lot of people. It's a versatile game.
I wish they would come out with a movie one, because every time it's a movie, I'm like more excited. The minute somebody puts down a movie or a television show, I'm like, ooh, I wish they would come out with decks that are just movies or just TV shows or just or like comic books or something more pop culture or something. That'd be interesting.
Just either go on BGG and see if they have file downloads, or just make one.
Yeah. That's
I'm
true.
sure you thought of that.
No.
Okay. Yeah, you can create, because you do that.
Yeah, but I gotta make my own games.
This is true.
I make other people's games.
This is true.
That's kind of the thing with you remember Time Stories when that came out? Speaking of, what was that, 2010 or 11? Whenever Time Stories came out, they sent out a package kind of thing where people can make their own like story that you could play and then put on BGG. And I wanted to, but I was trying to make my own games at the time, so it wasn't. But I wanted to make a Groundhog Day one.
Yeah, that seems ripe for that.
Because it totally, but
yeah. But then they came out with 2 Groundhog Day games?
Oh, are there two? I know there's one.
There's the Funko one.
Maybe you just played one twice.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe I'm just thinking there were two, but really there was one.
They demand the bug of the week. I am not doing that.
It's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure.
I'm not doing bugs.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's mine. I mean, I don't have much else. We're planning the holiday party. That's in December. There's a New Year's thing. Obviously, that's end of December. Yeah, not much else that I can actually talk about.
Cool.
Yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump to what everybody's really here for is the Luca painting.
The Luca painting, yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Which, if you didn't see, a lot of people are here after the intro, but we got a new intro, and it's got you talking about Luca painting on there. So.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. It was good. And I think the colors were what? Blue and orange?
Yeah. I thought about trying to duplicate one of his, but I was like, no, because then it'll just make me want to make more of them all the time, and that's a lot of commitment. So
sure.
I just did an orange blue splash.
I mean, it would take work. I could give you the one for the day, and then you could put it into the image, but that's way too much.
It's like rendering time and all that stuff. But.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, so who's Luca? Luca just turned 3 on Saturday. I
saw that. Happy birthday, Luca.
Yeah, he's now 3 years old. And he's been doing watercolor paintings for just about 2 years. That's Bianca's rendition of him doing a painting that she just sent me a picture of her new shelf of games. She's in Argentina. She's up to 82 games now. And right there in the middle on the shelf is that painting that he was doing for her.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So she's still got it. He's still a world international artist. But yeah, he's 3, huh?
He's a muse too.
He is. He's been doing watercolor paintings for 2 years, and every Monday I pick one and show it off. They've been more recent from the past couple months. Some are multicolored, some are single colored. This happens to be a single colored one.
Make sure you tell us what you see in it in the comments.
Yep. And we'll figure out
Rorschach test
where Chris is insane this week.
I wasn't so bad last time.
All right. So this one does not have a name.
Okay.
He did not name this one, but it is from October. Beginning of October. Still done with the left hand. That means left hand.
Oh, okay.
And here is 2 days.
Ooh, all blue. Okay. So tell us what you see in comments right now, live comments, but also if you're not watching this live, show us. Tell us what you see. We'll judge if you're insane or not. I'm trying to see something different than what I actually see.
Right. It's hard, though.
That's a good one. A manta ray. Glacier Mountain. That's a good one. Yep. Giant blue ice seal.
Ice seal. Interesting.
Like a button? Like.
It's like a button.
What kind of buttons you at?
Yeah.
That's Pokemon. That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that it was a Pokemon, like the blue, the big grin, yeah.
Yep.
So I was trying to see if someone else saw it. Blue shrew in all of the sky, like looking up, I guess. A shrew. I like that one. I like the different. It's watercolor, right? I like the different.
Yeah.
It almost looks like there's like a creative hole in which you're seeing like a stormy, sky or something through.
Yeah.
Did he tell you what it was afterwards or anything?
No, this one doesn't have the thing. I wonder if I use my light, you can see more.
Oh, we can see it.
Yeah, I'm just the difference between, because it looks like there's 3 different blues there. But it's all the same blue.
Hey, Kabuki.
Right?
No, I see all the different clouds. That's what I'm saying. It's like stormy clouds in there.
But it's all done with the same color, right? It's all the same blue. It's not a light blue, dark blue, middle blue that
Right.
he's like. It's all the same blue, but the way that it's painted and the layers, it makes it look like there was like a light blue, or he hit it with white, and then this was a darker blue. It's all the same blue.
Island from a Magic
Mhm.
the Gathering card.
That's good. I like that. That's a good one.
What'd you see?
I forget what it's from, but one of the video games, I want to say it's on Nintendo 64, had that little blue flame. And I don't know if it was part of the story that would come. It wasn't Navi from the Zelda series, because that was the fairy with the wings. But there was a little blue flame in a game. I forget what it was, but that's what I see, a blue flame, like some kind of character that's helping you through a story. I just forget what series and what it was, but that, like, this obviously this would be the top of it. His arms over here, his feet are down here,
No.
and he pops up to tell you, like, you want to,
A wisp?
like a wisp, yeah. But I forget what game it's from. There's one specifically. It could be Ocarina, but there's one specifically that I'm
Hey,
thinking.
Ocarina.
Hey, God, don't do that. So yeah, that's what I see.
Oh, what about I can't remember his name. The star from the Mario movie is like, we're all gonna die,
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I can't remember his name though.
Mario series, not Sunshine, Galaxy. Maybe it's from Mario Galaxy. But what? Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see some kind of character in that. Like I saw a Pokemon thing. Luma, thank you. Was it Luma?
Maybe.
I like that name.
Luma's good.
That was a hilarious character in
Is
that
Luma
movie.
the name of the thing from the Mario movie?
The star that's like happy about all the depressing things. Yeah, I think so. It sounds right. I don't know. I need to see the Marvel movie again. I got Marvel gummies, by the way. I don't have them.
Marvel gummies?
Yeah, not Marvel. Sorry, Mario. I keep saying Marvel.
By Luca.
Luma by Luca.
I want to see. Now I'm looking it up.
Yeah. Well, that makes good TV.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I mean, we watch the Mario movie quite often.
Okay.
Even I fucking hate Jack Black, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. You should show that to Luca and see if, like, he's like, oh, I made that, and then see if he wants to add to it, like get it closer, put the eyes on or something.
Yeah. So I guess the real name is Luma Lee. Galaxy Stars. I wonder if it was from Super Mario Galaxy. That was the nod.
Nice.
That could be the series. That could be the art series. Luma by Luca. That's the perfume. That's the eau de toilette. Luma by Luca. Yeah. So, what did you see?
Who, me? I said the Pokemon, that blue Pokemon.
Oh.
I don't know the name. In fact, I think it was said in here. Who is it?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Sharpedo?
Yeah. That's I didn't know the name, but I know the look of it, So that's the first thing I saw. Has the big grin, right?
Sure.
Yep. Existential dread. Snorlax. I didn't see that one, but that's a good one.
I can see it.
Yep. No, that's a good one. Like it. Okay,
cool.
So the Luca painting. So we can get into our top 5 board games of 2012. 2012 was the first year that I made a Kickstarter. I launched my first Kickstarter in 2012. I failed. Failed.
No. That was
it was Evil Intent. Yeah.
That
one failed, but the next year I came back and made it. Now, today's time, it would not be considered made it. I think we made something like 38K. And that is enough to make 1,000 copies back then. But we lost money.
Money on the containers were different too in 2012.
Oh yeah. In fact, we we didn't even have to like schedule. I was using some service that like put it with other stuff, and I only had to pay a portion of it too. So,
Mm.
I mean, 1,000 games does not take up an entire container.
No, that's a great. I mean, it's still possible to do it, depending on your manufacturer. You know, they know what's going out on what containers, and you need
Sure,
a couple
but
pallets.
yeah, that's the year I found out that if you sell 1,000 games, you lose money. So you can sell more. It's a what do they call it? It's a quantity kind of game. You don't start making money till you sell quite a bit. But yeah,
I mean,
that launched my getting into this whole business thing. So
that was your hook.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2012 is good. You know what's funny is I have the 2012 Robinson Crusoe game, and I still have not learned it. 12 years. I have games from older than that I still have not learned.
You got to get on it.
I think after 12 years, if I've skipped it over and over again on the learning shelf, I should just sell it to somebody who's going to appreciate it.
Well, it's tricky, right? Because there's so many games that come. I was just talking to somebody about this. There's so many games that come out a year. You can only play so many. They're your favorites that you want to play when you go to game night, or those that you want to show to friends. So it's hard. You obviously can't play them all, but it's very easy for a game to fall between the cracks, so to speak. And there could be a banger that you didn't play, right? Like, what if you never played whatever? Pick a game that you like. I don't know, a game you love. Orléans. What if you missed Orléans because there were so many other games, right? And it's 10 years later, and you're like, "Holy shit, this game is it's just a banger."
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, I know it's hard, but for one thing, I know my taste much better now than I did at the beginning of all this, right? So at the beginning of it, you're like, what? This person likes a thing? Oh, I like the last thing they said, so I'll grab that too. Oh, everybody's talking about this? I'll grab that. And then, you start realizing, oh, I don't like this type of game, or, something like that. You start narrowing it down a bit to where when you read the back of the box again, you're like, I don't like that.
Right, but now you've experienced a lot more in the game world. So now when you find out that a game came out 12 years ago that has a rondelle and you adore rondelles.
Sure. Well, look at this example. Targi. Yep. Yeah. I also, same story. I have the 2012 version. I still have not learned it.
You've never played Targi?
Nope. And there's so many people who have said exactly that. And I've talked about how good it is. And it's just sitting on my shelf. The problem is I just got too many games all at once.
Yeah.
And then I continue to pile on the top, right? And I don't think I'm even backing anything right now. I'm very far away from that now. I barely take anything in now. It's on BGA. Yeah. I think if I wanted someone to teach me it, I could get someone to teach me it really quick. There's so many people that
we can play it on the show. There's no hidden information.
Yeah. Right. So
that's a good one.
I just haven't done it. I want to. I just haven't done it. Yeah, I've had that experience. I've had this kind of experience in virtual stuff before with like BG in it. Like if I don't already know the game, it just doesn't snap into my head because I'm not physically moving the bits and all that stuff, I don't mind playing games that I already know on BGA or something like that, but I just can't find myself learning that way. Although Tabletopia and TT Asset, Simulator, that's a little different because it looks like it's on the table, right? So I think it's just the way I learn stuff, doing, So there's going to be a lot of people mentioning games in 2012. I'm like, nope, still on the learning shelf. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be fun.
Yep. All right. So let's see. I don't remember who went first last time. We usually do a snake.
Yep. Yeah, I don't remember either.
So why don't you go?
I will go.
Tell us your number.
I also agree that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, they're mentioning a lot in the comments now, but let's do our list and then we'll talk about
All right,
more.
I'll go. I'll go with one. I'll start with one. I've talked
Should I,
about it so
should I
many
pop it up
times.
when we talk about it? I can
You
actually
can.
pull it up BGG. Yeah.
It comes. It's an obvious game to pick from this year. It was my introduction to worker placement. Unfortunately, it's been worker replaced by your game,
Oh,
and I've talked about it so many times. But it's Waterdeep. I mean, Lords of Waterdeep was such a tremendous game to learn when I was starting to learn games, modern games, when I was getting into the hobby. It's so easy to get into. It's easy to teach. I love that the expansion not only gives you more areas to play with, but it adds just enough where it's not daunting to new players. You can teach it with the expansion, and it's still I prefer to play it with the expansion. Also, one of my favorite things, and this is just for me, are the harpers, because their symbol looks like the Guinness harp.
the
So
green.
yeah, my preference is always to be the
These
harpers
guys.
for that. Yep,
That's
because
my
their
that's my
logo looks
brother's
like
favorite
Guinness
one.
harp. I love it. I got the playmat that I forget the company that does it, but they do the playmat that's neoprene with the stitched edge, and it's in like a hexagon, so it's got all the locations. You can roll it out. You know, use a board. I think here. Do I still have it here? It's right here. All the stuff for with
Kabuki
scoundrels.
says she always aims for the Harpers too.
Yeah, the Harpers is the way to go.
Hmm.
I
I
think I
always play
might have.
yellow, so
I think I might have actually put them in the box, but I got the upgraded bits, so they're not just cubes. They're actually those little wooden meeples for the
oh yeah,
different. Yeah.
oh yeah. I have the little plastic meeples. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Rather than them being cubes, like it felt like the right thing to do. But the game, I mean, even the quality of the game, like the linen finish on the cards, it was the first time I realized like the cards had texture. Like this game,
Yep.
early in my hobby experience of board games, this was one that I went to quite often, not only to teach, but just because I wanted to play it. But it's brutal. It can be very not only backstabbery with the mandatory quests, but you can choke somebody out of those locations specifically because there is no hidden information. Your quests are revealed. The intrigue cards are hidden information, but that doesn't. It's not hiding from your opponent what you're working on. So if you consistently put somebody at the plinth, they got to go somewhere else to find a white. And if your shops aren't coming up with the white cubes, then you're fucked. Which is why for me Troubles replaced it. You know, obviously future me replaced this with Troubles, but the game itself is it's such a fun way to it's resource management, but it's such a fun way to wrap your head around and the world. But and another thing is I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons fan. Like I hardly played D&D. I remember the very bad movies when they came out, but I've never like I don't when in my head none of this world actually meant anything to me going into it. But
Right.
then playing the game, I'm going to these places. Like I feel like my workers are going to these places, and the intrigue cards are like helping get you into the lore, and then the quest cards and how they're like skullduggery and warfare and all this stuff. Like it's really smartly done. I love it. I still wouldn't shy away from it, although I have my preferences. But this game is just it's top notch for me.
Yeah, I've played D&D, since I was a kid and stuff, but I've never played modules, so I don't. I know that Waterdeep is from them, but I don't know much about it either. So,
Right.
lots of experience with D&D, but as the rule set, and then someone's just made up world stuff, never the actual module stuff or their own stuff. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat as far as kind of knowing who these characters are and stuff like that. But um, yeah, this is interesting. 5 years ago, everyone was hating on Lords of Water. Why was everyone hating? The only thing I hate about Lords of Waterdeep is the insert. It's like the
It's,
worst insert
it's a
ever.
much better insert than some for its time. I mean, it
Mhm.
can be annoying, but it actually, like, if you tip it sideways, the shit doesn't fall out. Like, it does well.
No, it falls out. Some of it does. Not all of it, but some of it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
I had to get those big rubber band things, or like four-way rubber bands, so that
Yeah.
when it is
Yeah.
on its side, it doesn't. Yeah.
Do you put,
Um,
have you kept the insert? Or did you toss the insert?
I kept it.
Did you,
I just have to use the rubber band to make it work.
do you put Scoundrels, the insert for Scoundrels on top of the base game insert and then put the Scoundrels top on top of the game?
No, I kept the two boxes.
Oh, yeah, mine. So it's still got the gap, but my Scoundrels box top is
Yeah.
on the base box bottom, and then the insert for Scoundrels goes over the base
Yeah.
insert. It works really
Now, of
well.
course, Scoundrels didn't come out this year, but
Right.
that is the quintessential expansion must be played with the game no matter what that I always use as a mandatory quest. We do use sometimes. I ask the group if they want to use it. We use a house rule that says you can't use it on the last round. Because it sucks to be able like, okay, I've got this all built up, and then nope.
Yeah.
And that's your game, is that you just don't get to do the thing that you built up for. It sucks. So
You and your house rules.
I know. I'm a hypocrite. I got them.
No, I like that. It makes sense. I haven't played with it that way, and there is nothing worse than a mandatory quest at the end. Like, you're just like, Jesus. But yeah, that's Waterdeep will be the first one I talk about.
That's a good pick. Good pick.
It seems like low hanging fruit though. I mean, it's from this year. It's obvious, right? It's ranked 88th
Well,
still.
it's
in the
number
top
8 on my list.
Number 8.
8. Yeah.
There are a lot this year, but it's a 12-year-old game. A lot of stuff has come out since then that does worker placement and resource management probably better or less hurtful, but it's still ranked in the top 100. Like, oh hey, oh yeah, that's a good one. How you doing, Phil? That's a good mic drop though on that game. Yeah, it's still ranked in the top 100, right? It's ranked 88th, so like, it's still holding with all the games.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's still a good one.
Yeah, can't hate anyone for like loving this game. So it's good. It's got a little sharp edge to it, and that's a little bit of what brought Asking for Troubles about. Is like, how about we get a little bit nicer version of this?
Yeah.
All right, so that was your number 5. My number 5. I'll put it up here. What is my number 5? Oh yeah. Probably knew this one was coming up. I'm surprised nobody's talked about it. Zolkin.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So I mean, I love. This is going to be nothing but a bunch of pictures of people painting their wheels, probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the idea of planning ahead, of putting your worker down and thinking that's going to pay off in about 3 turns.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'll put a worker over here. It'll pay off in 2 turns the next turn. So then maybe at the same time, all this like stuff. Now, the only reason why it's number 5 and not number 1 is because you have to feed your people. And you know how I feel about washing the dishes. I don't like to do it in the game. So it knocks it down a little bit. But, and not only does it have feed your people, but it's harsh. Mm. It's hard to get that corn. You got to fight for corn half the game instead of doing all the fun stuff. But
right.
Not here to hate on it because it's still on my list, still number 5. The only thing that I would say, like, I haven't played this in a very long time, and I kind of want to jump back into it and play it because it's been so long. There's been other games that have come along since that I kind of go to instead. But talking about, making this list is making me like wanting to play a lot of these over again. So, but yeah, I still haven't painted any of my wheels.
It looks better than that.
Well, that's how it comes right there.
Mm-hmm. Give it a stone wash or something.
Yeah, I could do that. Mm-hmm. That's easy. I gotta wash.
You need to play Arborea. If you haven't played Arborea, you have to play Arborea.
Yeah, I do want to play it. Ever since you talked about it.
Yeah. The idea, especially what you just said, the idea of like you're putting a worker down and it'll pay off later on, like the way that
Yeah.
those things move, those tracks move, you'd love it.
Yeah. Cool.
Good pick. I like it.
So that's my number 5. Now we're gonna snake, and I'm gonna do my number 4, and then you'll do it. So my number 4
That's how it goes.
is, if I look over here. Oh yeah. It might be because you've brought it up before.
Maybe.
It's only a 2-player.
Oh yeah, that's one of the ones I'd talk about.
Nice. Yep.
Mhm.
Agricola, all creatures, big and small. I mean, we talked about it before, and of course, all these are old games, obviously. So a lot of people are going to know about it. But this has that the whole big Agricola, like just condensed down. You get to have more fun with it because it's 2-player, so you don't have to wait as long. All that stuff. It's very cutthroat.
Very.
I mean, you're like, I need this one spot to pull off the one thing I'm trying to do, and then the person takes it, and you're just, there's not a lot of forgiveness in some cases, but it's so good, and those don't come with the game. There you go.
Even without that, you have 8 turns, right? to get your stuff done. You have 8 turns to get it done.
Yeah, I know. And it doesn't, from the beginning, you're like, what? There's no way I'm going to get all that stuff done.
Yeah. Yeah, it is solid. It is, I mean, I love this one. There's 2 expansions for it. I'm not sure what the more modern big box version, I don't know if they added both of them into it. I know there's different tiles, different buildings you can get and shit like that, but base game of this is it gets that Agricola itch, but it does it really well, 2-player only, and it's super tight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If I want to play a bigger game of this, I'll play Caverna instead, or Caverna, depending on how you say it. Because Caverna, whatever, is better for me as a bigger game. But this one, I haven't played the small Caverna 2-player one because I kind of want to keep this one where it is and happy. I don't want it replaced.
Right. That makes sense.
But yeah, so that's my number 4, Agricola.
Good one. Good pick. Good pick. All right, where do I go then?
It's not animal killing. We're setting them free.
This is true. They do just run off into the fields if they're not
contained. Live wild lives. Yeah. Scott,
hey, what's going on, buddy?
Oh no, he caught us using his website. Run. Caverna. I'm guessing you're Caverna. What are the different ways to say it?
Caverna.
Okay, so she doesn't want Caverna. It's Caverna. Whatever.
All creatures. The base game, and there's 2 expansions, but you have 8 turns to get your shit done. It's such a tight game to get everything happening, and it feels really good. It's compact. It's to the point. Like it's a good one.
Still good today. And that's the crazy thing about the 2012 years. There's a lot of games that came out this year that are still good today.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. What's your number 4?
I'm gonna go. So you're in 400 on 405 on BGG. I'm gonna creep up from Waterdeep being ranked 88 to Seasons ranked 350.
That's a great game.
Yeah, I played it fairly recently. This is another one. It's got 2 expansions, Kingdoms 1 and I forget what the other one is, that I've never played with. The game itself, the base game, comes with the suggested, if this is your first time, use this set of cards, and it's like numbers 1 through 60. And then if you're playing advanced and you want it to be a little bit more challenging, then you play with the cards that are numbered 61 to whatever the fuck. But the game is the art is beautiful. The game, it happens over 3 years. Each year has 4 seasons. and depending on what season you're in, those are the dice you're rolling, and the dice are asymmetric. So typically you're leaving one of the bunch out, so you don't know which one. Like, it's just removed from the game. But then you roll the dice and you select and draft kind of order, and you're trying to get these gems and spend them on those cards that are going to give you points and give you abilities. It's beautiful. The dice are beautiful. The quality of the components is great. It's super easy to get into, although it seems challenging with the idea of the cards and how the cards play. But especially for the first game, the cards themselves are pretty much straightforward. It's kind of like King of Tokyo. Like, the cards in King of Tokyo say X, then you do X, right? If it's beforehand or after, or in response or whatever, they're all very, very straightforward in the intro, in the beginning stuff, but challenging enough where, like, you feel fun. It feels fun when you get the cool shit to happen. But trying to figure out the market, like, the opposite seasons, the yellow is worth more in the other seasons, and trying to figure out when to transmute and how you have these leftovers. You're also limited to a certain amount of those elements, so you can't. I think the base, you can have 8, but then you have that storage component that lets you keep 10 or some shit like that. It's so simple, but it feels so good when stuff starts happening in this game. I love it. I adore this game.
Yeah, and this is also production wise and art wise, and you talked about the art, but this might be one of the first games that I was so blown away by the art that I just couldn't stop looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, of course, today 100 games come out with this kind of art in, and everybody's like, yeah, it's great art and stuff. But this is the first time I was really like paying so much attention to art, thinking I want my card to look like that someday, stuff like that.
Yeah, because they all have character. They all feel like they're part of a world, right? Like, they live on. When the game is put away, they're out there still.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they never took this art and did other games with it, or visited this world more through other games. They should have, because it was just alive. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game too is just really good. The only thing that I don't want to say suffers, because that's not the thing, but it is one of those games where if you don't get certain cards and stuff working, and the other person has this cool thing that just works and stuff, but there's a lot of awesome games that just kind of have that scenario, and
Well, you also get the drafting in the beginning, right? So you have the 3 years, or the 3 ages. I think they call them years.
Yeah, but if you don't know the game,
no, that's true. That's true. It would suffer you'd get hurt by people that have played it before. But they're only getting one card. Like, to be fair, like, you can let people know certain things. But I guess that's the biggest hurdle in teaching, is knowing you're keeping cards for 2 rounds from now. So you want to make sure that you have, like, those higher priced cards later, because if you have them in your opening hand, you're just going to be sitting on them. So I guess it does reward multiple plays, but I love it. It's such a cool game.
I had a friend in our game group that used to love this game, and she and my sister and other friends and stuff, they would play in a way that was kind of like, I'm not going to do a mean thing and stuff, like, very kind of nice to each other and stuff. And then one day another friend showed up, and he knew the game really well, and he went in there and he played, I guess, like it's designed like you should play.
Mm-hmm.
He played, he got the cards that were mean, and he played them, and he used them to his advantage. And she said, I'm never playing this game again.
Oh, no.
It was so, but I mean, she thought it was one game, and it really kind of wasn't. It was just kind of like the whole group was kind of agreeing to be nicer on some level.
Right.
But and so he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was actually playing it as designed.
Right.
But but I just thought, I always think of that thing afterwards. It's funny.
It can be mean, like when you force somebody to pick a card up in their hand, like, that sucks. It can be kind of brutal.
He had like certain combinations that were just, this happens to you, now this happens to you, and this happens. It was just like brutal. And I was on another table. I was listening. I was like, oh my God, he's like destroying them all. It's so bad.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a great game though.
It is. It's beautiful. I mean, the art really brings you into the world, and then the like rolling those chunky dice, like it's got a lot. It's got a lot of good stuff. I do not do well in this game. It's not one that I excel at. Every time I've played it, I don't. If I score more than 200, I'm happy, and I think the score goes like north of 300 or something. But if I get anywhere near 200, I'm happy with my performance. It's not
number 9 on my list.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, good. So we're doing your number 3 now because we're snacking.
Right. So that's my number 4. All right. So from there, so that's 4. So now I got to do 3, which means that's 2 and that's 1. This is going to end up being 2. This is going to
put it in order. Yes.
Oh. Nope. Because I also got to think about what you're gonna talk about.
You don't know what to talk about.
I got to talk about it. It has to happen. One thing I love in board games is when you can take something off your player board and put it into the world, and it unlocks something on your player board. Take something off to reveal something that you get. Right, you get an enhancement, or you get a I don't know, a resource, or you get a building or whatever. And Terra Mystica, the first time I played Terra Mystica, although it's a big one, it's a long game, I was blown away by the feeling of bringing stuff off your board to unlock stuff, right? Scythe does it. There are plenty of games that do it. But from this year, and it's sitting at 30, it's ranked 30 on BGG. Still, right? 12 years later. I loved what this game did. I like the little, I guess it's called a rondelle. It's not really, like the way that those things move around.
The gems or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, I guess technically, I wouldn't call it a rondelle game, but I guess technically you could say there's a rondelle in it.
Right.
Yeah.
But how the way that all the different components and mechanisms in this game were married onto the table is just, it blew me away. And it's a long one, so it's hard to get onto the table. Like, not, I don't know. I want to play it more. I don't have the crew that would play it more, or the time sometimes, because it's a long one. But man, everything about this is super fun to play. Yeah, Gaia Project.
I have not played Gaia Project.
I haven't played it either.
But I want to try it.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I love this game as well. This is my number 7. So
nice.
You're picking away at my 6 through 10 is what you're doing.
I'm not giving you any alternates.
No, apparently not.
Yeah, this is super fun. I mean, it's a challenging game. It's a puzzle to try and figure out how to put the things out and get all the points and do all the things that board games do. But the way that you're moving stuff off your board into the world, what was the thing that sold it for me? Like the little, whatever you want to call it, rondelle, the way that works was really cool to wrap your head around. But the feeling so smart when you get the things to trigger in the right way to unlock the stuff that's on your board. And then you just become better at stuff. It's super great.
Yeah, I wanted to point out Andrew's Terra Mystica.
Mystica. I like that. Well done, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this not working for some people, especially if it's played for the first time in kind of like today's design world, because it is a great one. It's a long one, but it has a little bit of chunkiness to all the different things that are going on, and it doesn't feel quite as streamlined as games are today, and for the most part. So it's kind of like I don't know, maybe a little bit of nostalgia is in there for people that have played it for a long time, but
sure.
And that's why it's not in my 5. That's why it's 7. It's just for that one reason that I feel like it could be like tweaked and polished a bit today to be even better. But all the things you said, 100% agree.
Yeah. I think if it came down to it, I think Crusaders would push this one out, right? Because Crusaders does a lot of the same stuff. And it's a more streamlined experience. There definitely is nostalgia, like you said, about this, because of like being fresh into the hobby and playing new games and feeling like, holy shit, this is amazing. But yeah, this is a good one.
Is there music playing where you are?
No, my chair is making a
Oh,
squeak.
okay. Thought I heard a
It's
flute.
not loud at all.
Okay.
Are you hearing things, Chris?
Yes, it happened.
Perfect.
Oh, there you go. Ooh.
No,
Yeah,
not
I heard
me.
like a flute playing or something.
Nope.
Anyway, I don't hear it now. But
Okay.
all right. So, skipping that crazy. So no, my number three. Okay.
Yes.
My number three, I didn't know. Actually, you and I have never talked about this game, which is really weird. Um, because you would think, with as many times as we talk about Star Wars, we would talk about this game.
Oh, X-wing. Huh.
Have you ever played this?
I have.
Okay, I didn't know if it'd be on your list or not because we've never talked. That is cool. Whatever that is, that's not part of the game.
That was
Um,
a.
I do have this. I actually have this full one. They have a drawing of it, but I guess it'll be a while. Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. It's a
That'll work.
miniatures game. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not your typical tabletop game that we talk about and stuff. But I was a huge fan of the X-wing video game. Of course, huge Star Wars fan. But
Right.
all of this is so perfectly balanced with all of the theme and the world and stuff. It's not like they just like, oh yeah, just put a few stuff on here. The people that write the powers and everything like that everybody gets know Star Wars as well as I do, if not way better. Probably way better because they even go into legend stuff and comic book stuff and things like that. But I mean, this is probably the last miniatures game I've ever played,
Huh.
and it's been a while. And if you ever say, "Hey, let's play a miniatures game," this is probably the only one I want to play.
Mm.
Star Wars, it's awesome. The problem is it takes like an hour and a half to draft your pieces and stuff if you want to do it by points like we were doing it. But
Right.
part of that is fun, like trying to build up like, oh, I've got, this many points. Okay, I can get this ship with, and not as good a pilot. I could get the Millennium Falcon, but I got to put Lando in the seat instead of Han because
Right.
I also want, Wedge over here, things like that. But yeah, I mean, I love playing this game. I used to play it all the time, especially over my brother's house and stuff. So, yeah.
There's a lot. I still have all my stuff for it in a giant tackle box.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's in mine's in the other room, but it's in a big Star Wars box.
Mm.
Yeah. That was a big problem. Is they come like the initial box comes with a little thing that holds the three, one X-wing and two TIE fighters,
Yeah.
and then after that they're like, you're on your own. You gotta. There's no storage anything. I've seen so many people like come up with their own storage projects and stuff like that for it. Yeah, there you go. Tackle
Okay,
box.
there you go.
Yeah. Hobby box or whatever that is. But yeah. No, I still love it. It's still fun. I'd still play it.
Yeah, I played it a few times. I haven't played it anywhere recently. But yeah, I do. I enjoyed it. I was not good at it. Because there's a little bit of planning and bluffing involved too, when you're trying to plot your course and you don't want to crash into one of your own because then you're dead.
Yep. I've got a lot of this stuff too. Yeah. I got the slave ship. I got the Falcon. I've got all those. Yep.
Yep. But do you have the Tantive?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's what I was just looking for. I didn't know if I had it out here or in the game room, and I think I got it in the game room. So
she's a big one too.
Yeah,
cool.
It's a fun one too because it comes with like scenarios and stuff you could set up with.
That's cool.
Yeah, not a good storage box. They didn't even try. So to be fair, they were like, "We'll hold 3 of them, but if you buy more, it's on you."
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, because you can't. I mean, like Kabuki said, there's that open window when you take out that plastic. It's just open.
And all your stuff falls out, and I had that happen to me. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good one. I lost interest when they redid it. Right, they did the second edition to go along with Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And then they stopped it and did what was the Armada one, which were the smaller ones. Like it just seemed like there wasn't going to be a lot of support for it, or it was dying, or whatever. And there's so many ships you can get, and then I wanted to collect it all, and I knew I couldn't, so I just stopped.
Yeah, when Armada came out, that's when I stopped as well. Because I was like, I also thought, oh, they're just going to start doing that now, and all my other stuff is out. Okay, well, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
And then they did continue making X-wing stuff, but by that time I already had too much stuff anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, the whole game is add-ons.
Yeah, absolutely.
They give you 3 ships, 2 TIE fighters, and an X-wing, and then that's it. No, you need everything. You need TIE defenders. You need everything. Yeah.
Yep. So many things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. The turrets. That's neat.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of. I went to a local convention, and someone had built up the entire Death Star trench.
Yep.
Like really built up, and you could put them in there and fight above it and stuff. It was crazy.
The first QSCon in 2019, someone local did a bunch of that stuff, and they had. He was friends with a guy that did Gaslands. He had this big compact thing for Gaslands, like this whole dirt track with miniatures and buildings, and it was amazing. But they had an 8-foot trench run, and he ran a scenario in the trench. Like you could, it looked so cool.
Yep. Yeah. Now I have this X-wing. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, but
that's a TIE fighter, Chris.
Oh, sorry, yeah, TIE fighter. But you can see how big it is.
Rookie. That's cool.
But yeah, X-wing. My number 3. Okay, so then my number 2 is also in space. And I don't know if you played this one either. I don't think you have, but it's not that one. It's Merchant of Venus, the 2nd edition.
Oh, no, I haven't.
So I just recently replayed this, but and yes, I know, with a house rule.
Oh no!
Yeah, and I gotta say the house rule made it so much better. So first of all, let me show you what is all going on. Look at the board.
Wow,
there's a lot going on, right?
Okay.
So all of these little purple cards right here, those are alien species, and you don't know what they are. You shuffle them up and then put them out, and you don't know where they are. And you start off at this little space station, and you fly around, and whenever you get to a spot, you get to flip it over, and it's, these nebula people who sell funky furniture, and they have this cool thruster technology. And you can buy this stuff from them. And then you fly over to another place and they want to buy that stuff from them. So you sell it, buy, sell kind of stuff. At the same time, you're buying technology to increase your ship and all that. The movement part here is what really sucks. And this is the house rule that we did. So I don't know if you can, it doesn't zoom in much more than that, but there's a spot on here that basically says you have to roll a die and put it on a spot on your ship, and if it says 5, you're going this way whether you like it or not. If it says 3, you're going this way. Like, it really wrecks a lot of stuff that you're doing. So we just got rid of it. We just said, okay, those spots don't work. The brown spots right here, and there's not that many. There's 5, 6 on the whole board. So those spots taken away made the game so much better that you could get to where you wanted to go. And it's 30 rounds the entire game. So,
and this is 2012 was the 2nd edition of this game.
2012 was the 2nd edition. The original one was like in the 60s. I think. Let me see. Merchant. No, not 60s. 88. Same
80.
thing at this point.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I've never played the original one, and in fact, I don't play the original one now. The 2012 version came with the original rules and updated rules, and I went, well, I'll play with the updated rules, obviously. So I've only played that one.
Yeah, Aldi only plays with the.
Only played OG. Okay. Yeah, I would play OG if somebody else would teach it. I just don't want to have to relearn it through a different way, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd play a original version, sure.
Huh.
Oh, you prefer them? You've played both, then, I assume. But I mean, I guess I play my own rules if I'm taking away those hyperspace lanes or whatever they're called. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah,
No, I never played that one.
no, it's a fun. I mean, it's pick up and deliver basically, but
Yeah.
you get to improve your ship and all that stuff. So it's good.
It's good to know.
It's a long one, but it's a good one. I wouldn't play it with 4 players. It's 2 to 4. I'd play 3 or 2. So
cool. Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. I
didn't change this. This should have been my number 2, right?
Never played it.
Yeah, you need to play it. We'll play it sometime. Put it on the list.
Put it on the list. We'll play that in Targi.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fun one. And you don't fight each other either. So it's, there's never fighting with each other, which a lot of people look at a space game like this, especially in that time period, and think you just fight each other and stuff. So, yeah. All right. So what's your number 2, sir?
How long is the game?
Oh, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours.
Is there a lot of downtime between players? If you're not fighting each other, where's the interaction?
Interaction, not really there.
Okay.
It's more like I'm flying over here to do that. The small interaction might be that whenever you buy something from an alien race, you flip, you kind of move a little tile to see if now the market's changed to where they're paying less. And if someone else was heading there, okay, they get a little bit less money. Most money wins at the end. So,
gotcha. All right.
Other than that, I mean, there are some cards that come up that cause little conflict stuff, but it's not fighting each other or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I think 2 or 3 players is better than 4, because you're not really fighting each other and stuff, right? So.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there was a weird beginning there. Yeah, there was a strange thing that happened that year. I remember they both announced that they were bringing it out.
No shit.
Never really was sure what happened there, but yeah.
Huh. That's weird.
What was your number 2?
All right, number 2.
If I had to guess out of my top 10, I'll let you know. I have a guess. Okay.
You have a guess what my top 2 are?
No, I have a guess what this next one is. I'm not sure what your first. Your first one's probably something I've never heard of.
You've heard about it because I've talked about it.
Okay. Well, that's assuming I listened to you.
That's true. So it's another one that was in the beginning of my modern hobby board game experience. I played this game. I would play this game anytime, anywhere. I love it. There's a bunch of modules for it. You can bring it in as you play. But I played one of my favorite experiences was playing this game one day for 8 hours straight.
Okay.
Still love Twilight Imperium being my 11.5-hour experience. Still a monumental memory for me. And this is a close second. Playing this game for 8 hours on one day when it has a 10-minute timer. It's a 10-minute game.
Oh.
We played it for
Escape?
8 hours. It's Escape, Curse of the Temple.
Wow.
I adore this game. I love it. It's got that tension, especially if there's a YouTube clip, a 10-minute clip where there's the gong and the screen goes red and you got to get back to the beginning. But the idea of exploring this temple and getting the gems and rolling the dice, and it created this really fun tension in the game where it's controlled chaos is the best way.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And when you have more players and you have more tiles and you can split up and do the things, and Some of the modules require you to be in 2 different locations in order to trigger to get the gems. I love the illusions expansion in this one. The illusions will go out into the map, and then after that first gong, all the illusion tiles come off. So now you have gaps in the way that you went out. This game, it's for 8 hours. It was awesome, and we wouldn't add to the game until we successfully escaped. So when you play with the 15 tiles in the base game and you get out, cool. Then we added in the illusions, then we added in the curses, then we added in the whatever it was that we kept adding in the different things that it had, and it was just I don't know, 4 players. I think it only plays 4. It might play 6. I don't remember. But it's just super fun. I mean, it's back when I actually liked Queen games. But they had so much in this game that they kept coming out with. I haven't played the roll and write version, and they have a bunch of what they call Queenies that have come out like for the game with other shit. But the hardest thing in this game to teach somebody is like in order to get into the room, like the room right there next to the hashtag, it's got a key and a running guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to get into that room, you're always stepping over the gray steps, right? And you're trying to get into it that way. In order to get in there, you have to have a key and a running man on the dice that you rolled. And there's a whole bunch of things that go on with it. But the hardest thing, whenever I've taught this game, the hardest thing to get through is that is your action. If you want to get into that room, you take the key and you take the guy and you step into the room and you roll those dice. You don't just roll all of your dice all the time. You roll what you want to be your action. And that was always the only hurdle that I ever had in this game was like, and I'm watching other people play and not watching myself or paying attention to what I needed to do, because I'm making sure people understand that if whatever you want to do, that's what you're rolling. So you roll your dice until you get what you need. And if you need the 2 running guys to get into that room, then you take your 2 running guys and you roll just those as your action. And it doesn't have to be so strict, because technically you can roll whatever the fuck you want whenever. But adding the stuff to this game, the different rooms, the quests that are in there, there's the Grail, the Holy Grail one that you got to get out, and you always have to roll something to get the Grail out. Then there's the ghost you got to get back into the tomb. There's so many different things in this game. It's so much fun. Every time I played it, I adore it. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites in general. I think there's a copy there. I have the big box. I have the Kickstarter one with the gold foil on it. Like this and Arkham Horror, I have multiple copies of this game because I love it so much.
Okay, so when I eventually get to QSCon, which I say correctly because of the Q thing.
You did say
we'll play this. I played it once. I have it. I played it when we got it in 2012. And it fell so flat for us because we couldn't hear the gong.
Oh, okay.
We were just playing along and it was over and we're like, what happened? Like we never heard the gong. And it kind of was like, okay, well, move on. Kind of. And I always knew like we did something wrong, obviously. Like in the music or whatever we picked, it was playing out of a speaker or something that just made it all one sound or something we couldn't hear. I was like, I'd love to give this another chance sometime. So since you love it so much,
I love
you'll have to try. And of course, I've never tried any expansions or anything like that. But.
It is a hard game to play at a convention because of the noise. And if you have a computer or you have something that can play it loud, then yes, you'll hear the gong. I prefer, because it came with a CD. Remember, CDs were a thing at one point. So it came with the CD. And you put in the CD and it would play, and you could play that as loud as you wanted. I prefer the YouTube video because now not only do you hear it, but you'll see it. So in your peripheral, if you have the screen, you'll literally see it go from that blue water to this red. So there's an actual visual change when you play with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That could help. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And if you have somebody paying attention to it, then that person can announce to the rest of the table, all right, we got to get back to the beginning. We got to get back to the start. And then it goes back to the normal. Okay, cool. And then we get to go back out. But it is super punishing if you don't get back, because you lose a die for the rest of the game. Like it's out. You're done. And that the curses also add that too. If you roll off the table, you lose it for the rest of the game. Like there's some things it's super challenging, but I adore it. I love it. I would play this anytime. Anytime. I love
Nice.
this game so much. Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've always wanted to give it another try.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Cool.
I think you'd appreciate it. You'd have to get past the base tiles. Like, it's challenging enough to go through what's there in all the gold tiles. When you start adding in the illusions and tiles actually go away, because you can plot out you need to find the exit, and you need to roll a certain number of keys based on however many gems are left on your like gem tile. And you get rid of the gems off the tile by unlocking those things. So when you get to the final tile, you have to roll. If let's say there's 2 gems remaining, you need to roll 3 keys, because there's always 1 plus the number of gems, right? So when you get to that final tile and the clock is winding down, you have however many dice you have. You start with 5. You could be at 4 or 3 at that point. You need to roll 3 keys to get out. And then if you get out, you get to give a die to somebody who's still in. But then, all right, cool. Like, all right, we know where the exit is. We're back at the start level. Let's go. We got 3.5 minutes to do the thing. But then the illusion tiles have now disappeared, and you have gaps in your maze that you now have to explore. That could be curses or could be dead ends, or like it adds so much more as you start getting into some of the extras in the game. It's fantastic.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
So we are at your number 1.
We are.
Your favorite of them all?
It's not inaccurate.
Oh, look at that. Almost in order, guys.
Almost. I've talked about this one a lot. And I'll front load it with an apology. It's not an easy game to get. The Lamont brothers came out with such cool games when they were doing games that were handmade and with sculpted pieces, and they're just beautiful games. And this one I adore. Yeah, that one's okay. It does the same thing where, you're attacking the zombies with the dice too. Kind of like the curses. The zombies were the curses, but they moved around. Yeah, so this one, it's a shame. It's ranked 6,223.
Because no one's heard of it.
Right. And it's very specific. Like, it was a small run.
And what's the name for people who are hanging on?
It's called Spellbound. And I know we've talked about this one before with the witch and the books and the trolls. This game is beautiful. Keep going. Get to one of the actual.
There we go.
Those are handmade, like, clay figures.
And it comes with the game. This isn't somebody's BGG thing.
No, that comes with the game. Those are the pieces in the game. The books.
Cones of Dunshire there.
Yeah, the cone is the witch's hat. The books are all different. The books have faces on the spine. This game, it's a beautiful game. Like, just the components themselves are just gorgeous. They're big and they're chunky. I mean, they're like, this is a typical Gatorade bottle. They're probably that tall.
Wow.
And the gameplay is fun. It's cooperative. You're trying to restore X in the village, whatever, before Baba Yaga does the thing. But the card play, the gameplay, there's the center troll that's going through wrecking shit. You're trying to get the books to the different locations. Like, it's very intuitive. Even now, I think, as a game, it's just a very smart and fun design. It's a cool world to live in for a little while, and the components are just bonkers. Yeah, all of their stuff, all their productions were crazy. Like, everything that they did was so. I mean, they had Savannah Trails, which is theirs, which doesn't have any sort of level like this. And they had a couple that were just kind of more mainstream, but some of their stuff, Dragon Scroll, and what was the other one that they had? That was it was a gnome game. I forgot the gnome game, but it actually came with a mushroom that you could hang on the wall and put your pieces on. Like, their games were just look them up. The Fragor games and the Lamont brothers, they did some stuff that was just, they were fun to watch. They were two brothers that they just fed off each other really well, and they made these games. I don't know if they did it for profit. I think they just did it because they fucking loved it. It's beautiful. It's a quality game even now, and production value is through the roof. But it's tricky to find. Like, I think there's one on BGG that's going for $100, and then whatever shipping is. But shipping could be a little weird because you don't want anything to get broken.
Yeah,
because those are not delicate pieces, but they're handmade. Like they're crafted. But I just love, like, even the books having the faces on the spine, or not the spine, but having the faces on the books. Like, it gave all of the pieces in the game this character, and it was just super cool.
Like that?
Yeah, look at that. And the yellow one you showed in the beginning had the face on the spine of it. Just every book was different. It was just so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool looking. I don't know what the game is like and stuff, but yeah, I mean, the production is pretty cool.
There's different tracks, right? You're trying to get the different books safely home. So you're playing, it's card based, but you're playing cards to move things on different tracks before things happen. So there's a little bit of threat management, but some things take precedence because of what's coming up to, like, capture the book or whatever. But it's easy to play. It's not a complicated game, but it's just super, like, that world, kind of what we talked about with Seasons, right? The art of Seasons is giving you this world that you're playing in for a little while. Like, those things exist. It was the same thing with this game. Dance your cares away.
They're just singing Fraggle Rock.
I love it.
Yeah.
Don't answer this question, but first person without looking it up, and I'm sure Kabuki's going to get it because Kabuki is just.
Are you telling me not to answer it, but telling comments too?
You don't answer this. You don't answer this. What was the name of the dog in Fraggle Rock? It's one of my favorite trivia questions.
It's just like on the tip of my tongue.
And it's one of the first things said in the intro, too.
That's it. Yep.
There you go. Sprocket. Sprocket, old boy. Don't I have Sprocket? Sprocket
Man,
is
beat Kabuki at a...
Nice.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I love it. Fraggle Rock is great.
Red was my favorite Fraggle.
Red?
Yep.
Nice.
It was adventurous. The most adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not talking about Fraggle Rock. We're talking about Spellbound, the game.
I could talk about Fraggle. Have you watched Fraggle Rock?
Like, we need a Fraggle Rock game.
No,
I haven't.
Fraggle Rock is definitely there. There were some things as a kid that went right over my head.
Yeah, I should rewatch it.
Oh, I have them. They're underneath my TV with the DVDs that I'll watch constantly. Fraggle Rock is one of my favorites.
I think they're on HBO. I think they relaunched it too.
They did. They did.
Okay, so my number one is strangely divisive. There's people that hate this game for some reason. Maybe hate is strong, but it's Takedo.
Oh, wow.
So I love the simplistic art. It's beautiful, but it's, contained around the white and all that stuff. I think it's a very simple game, very easy to get people into and get going real fast. Mm-hmm. And, normally I'm not the type to bring up the simple, quick and easy games to get into, but this one just kind of sings for me. It's it can be frustrating. And I have the Kickstarter deluxe version that took like 3 years to make or something like that. Unbeaten. Oh, that's nice. I can't say that. Yeah, it was my number 5. You weren't paying attention.
It was. He picked it.
But this is my number 1 because I can immediately put it down, teach it in 5 seconds, and then go. The expansion's pretty good that comes along afterwards and all, but it's not needed. But sometimes I play with it anyway just for fun. But it's deceptively like there's some decisions to be made, and it hurts some of those decisions. Do I do this or do I do that? Because you don't know someone's going to take your spot, and I think it's best at 3, where you can't play with the second dots.
Okay.
They made a new one a few years ago, maybe 2019, something like that, called a Nemimji or something like that.
Yeah,
someone could write it down. Yeah, I have it, and it kind of functions the same way and stuff, but they've added just a little bit more, not complication, but more rule stacks on it and stuff. And usually I would like that move, but I thought it took away the simplicity. So I prefer Kaido, but yeah, I play this pretty much anytime somebody puts it down. So
would play it. Nice. Yeah, I'm curious with Stonemaier how that's all going to work too.
Oh, are they getting it?
Yeah, this is the one that they announced they're getting the rights to, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't been paying attention lately.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I have the collector's version of this, but I didn't get them painted because that was like an extra cost or something like that. And I thought, oh, I'll paint them, and I never have. I do want to paint them, though.
It's a good one.
I can't imagine Stonemaier will do the production of the collector's edition, but they might match the original one. I mean, unless they're doing a Kickstarter to do it, to reach that. It would take a Kickstarter to do that, or crowdfunding.
We'll see. As long as they have a good insert.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing this game with people who know it, you play it under an hour. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are just like, or there's some people that actually hate this game. I don't understand hate. I understand going, it's not for me. But there are people like hate this game. And I don't get the hate.
Yeah. I love the color. I love the art. I love the simplicity. I wouldn't shy away from playing it, but it's not one that I would pull off the shelf to play.
Yeah, I'll pull it off the shelf to play sometimes. So.
It is chill. I mean, that's good. It is a chill one.
Oh, just started doing them. Yeah, I actually bought some paints for it, and then I don't know where those paints are. So
I have just a couple minis that I need to start painting. Just a few. I don't really have many.
God, the first Marvel United box, and I have all of them, but the first one I did the whole spray paint it black, spray a little bit of white on top to get ready to paint them, and then I didn't paint them, so now all of them are black with like white sprayed on top.
Yep.
Need to go and paint them.
Yeah, sometimes it's just easier, especially like with Stuff of Legend specifically. If you just gave it that sepia ink wash, it works. So a lot of those minis, if you just gave it a stone wash, like gave it a gray prime and then gave it an ink wash, and just make it more like a statue, it's better than that just gray. But there's so many minis to paint.
So many. You need a bucket of wash.
Ugh,
just unreal. Dip, throw.
Dip. Yeah.
Yeah. So some games that we didn't get to. I can't believe I didn't have to do my number 6. I got to say all 5 of mine.
You did. I was just outside your top 5. I hit 3. Yeah. 7, 8, and 9. I hit of yours.
Yeah. So my number 6 is Agents of Smersh.
Never played it.
You've never played that one? So I know they have a new version, and it's probably, I don't know, more polished and all that stuff. I don't like that they redid the art, but at the same time, I like the art better. It's kind of weird. Like, there was a lot of work in the original artworks, and I was fine with it. It's, it's like the next step above Arabian Nights, where it's a lot of that kind of stuff where you're going around reading stories and stuff. But in this case, the skills you use matter, as opposed to Arabian Nights, where you see a guy, coming at you with a sword. Cool. I use weapon. I got the weapon use, so I attack. Okay. Do you have magic? No, I got a sword. Well, it doesn't matter. He's a genie. All that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but in this one, the skills actually made sense. And so I really liked that. Now they're a little, it was a little clunky is a good word for it. So I wonder if the new version has made it better. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Arabian Nights is so. I mean, it's fine, but it's so hard to play. You're not playing it; you're just socializing.
No, it's an activity that you can socialize around,
Right.
which is what I think Talisman is as well.
Right, same as Talisman. Yeah,
Yeah, you're just sitting around. Ah, look at that dragon killed me. Ah, as long as you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Ribbon, I care a little bit more with Agents of Smersh though. So, what's another game that you didn't get to talk about that came out there? I mean, there's a lot in 2012.
There are. I mean, it's a very simple game, and I guess it should be mentioned. But Love Letter came out in 2012.
Yeah, I'm in the minority. I've just never cared about it. I've played it a few times, and I was like, yeah, I don't get it.
It's influenced a lot of games that have come after, though, right? Because it's simplistic nature of just draw a card, play a card. Like, it's just super simple. And then all the versions that have come out since they've been good. I like the Batman one, obviously. The Jabba's Palace one's okay. But it's such an iconic game to come out, and it's still holding pretty well.
I mean, I got it the year it came out because everybody was like, "Oh my god, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Yeah." I mean, they accomplished a game with that few cards, but I was like, "I don't need to play the game." Like it just didn't hit me. It was probably one of my first moments of why does everybody like this kind of thing, and everybody's had those moments, right, where everybody's got this huge buzz about a game, and you feel like you're the only one that doesn't get why everybody likes it.
Right.
But
there's a game. It doesn't come out from this year, but a game that does. Like, I would rather play it over Love Letter. There's a game called Dead Drop. You ever play that one?
No.
I might have brought it up on the show before, but it's very similar in the situation. Like, you're trying to do a thing with some sort of information, imperfect information, and there's a certain amount of cards that are face up, and they're numbered. I don't remember 1 through 9 or something like that, and there's a certain amount of them. Of each card, right? There's 1 or 3 3s or something like that. But like, you can either offer information or like there's a couple actions you can do on your turn, but the object is to, like, I don't know, get with whatever to get the drop, right? The letter. But it does something. Yeah, I guess a little bit like Sleuth. I liked it. It had more to it than Love Letter, right? Like, I appreciate what it does, and in its simplicity, it's super simple to play, and it is fun, and it's easy to get to the table. And Dead Drop just had an ounce more of meat.
Maybe that's all I needed. Yeah, just a little bit more meat.
Yeah, Dead Drop is really good.
Trajan came out 2011, I believe. That was on my list from last time.
Yeah, like a micro. Yeah, can't be creatures. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, was that 2012?
No. I compared.
Oh, okay. I was like, the one I have must be a repeat if it was.
Avalon for sure. Coup is good.
Avalon's on my 10. Yeah.
Yeah. Avalon is definitely the better of them. I think I like Coup, but I'm so sick of everybody coming out as the Duke. Like, it's just a constant. Like, okay, yep, you're the Duke. Why don't we just start for 5 rounds where everyone is the Duke, and then let's just play the game at that point? Like, because no one calls shit at that point. Everyone's just believing the bullshit.
I always thought Avalon was much more thematic than the other versions, and I like that one the best.
Yeah,
it's the first one I played too, so maybe that plays into it. But
well, also the theme, right? Like, it's really cool to think about them and Merlin and having all of those different characters. It just made more sense.
And we talked about Targi. I haven't played. You have
Targi. I adore. I love Targi.
I bought my brother Android Netrunner because I wanted to learn it and play it, and he never learned it, so I haven't played it.
Yeah, Netrunner. I liked Android. Netrunner was the card game, correct?
I think so. I don't know. I've never played it.
There's an Android game that Kevin Wilson did. It's a longer journey, but I liked it. It had this really cool. Like, if you wanted to move, you could move anywhere where your ring. You had this little arc, and you'd take part of the arc and put it where you were, and wherever that arc touched, you can move to. So maybe things were a little bit and strategically done, like purposefully done, but something was like just a little bit out of reach, so you'd have to go somewhere else in order to go there. I love that one.
It's cool.
Budget got some really good ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Descent second edition was 12. Machikoro, another one. Another like super simple, easy to get people to play.
Yeah, I played that quite a bit when it first came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The expansions were not needed. But yeah.
There are a few that I've talked about in shows past. One is Saint Malo, came out in 2012. It's basically a roll and write.
Mm-hmm.
But you're rolling dice and you're putting them onto your board, dry erase, onto your board in certain patterns to score points, and then you're going to get attacked by the pirates at some point, so you have to make sure you have your cannon set up. But Saint, not Marshmallow, Saint Malo. But yeah, Saint Malo is a really good one. I like that one. There's a game I've definitely mentioned it to you multiple times because of its Rondell feature, but Palaces of Carrara. The second edition came out a few years back.
Mentioned that game, haven't you? Yeah.
The original one came out in 2012, and I still think you'd like that game. You need to. We should definitely play it at some point.
Cool.
There's a game from Floodgate, one of the first ones that Ben did. It was his design, actually. That is a time travel game, and I know I've talked about it on the. You should play Saint Malo at Saint Malo. It's called Legacy Gears of Time.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah, I love that game. I don't know why when it first came out. I mean, it's ranked 3100 or something. But I don't know why that game didn't do better. I really thought that they did a really good job with the way the card system worked and how the inventions would trigger, and I really liked that system. It had a lot more meat to it than it appeared.
I remember thinking the same thing, but the graphic design for me kind of faltered. I can't remember specifically why, but I remember thinking some of it was just kind of hard to read and didn't work right for me. So maybe that was it. Maybe it just needs a new skin.
Yeah, maybe. I liked it. I one of the time travel games. I enjoyed that one.
There aren't that many.
Las Vegas. Las Vegas is really good.
I always thought it was good. I just didn't jump on it as much as other people did for whatever reason.
There's that new one, Las Vegas Royale from Malaya. I think is.
I hadn't played that one.
Suburbia was 12. That's a good one. I like that series, but yeah, I agree with you. The Mad King Ludwig is
another
game.
I had the problem. I played Mad King Ludwig first, then Suburbia. I was like,
yeah,
and I could see liking that first, and then Mad King, but because I did it in that order,
yeah.
I never played the original Empires of the Void, but I do have Empires of the Void 2, and it is really good. So.
I haven't played either.
Oh, that's good.
That's Locket, right? That's Red Raven. Yeah.
He also had 8-minute or 8-minute Empire this year.
8-minute, yeah. There's a whole bunch of 8 minutes. 8-minute Empire, 8-minute Legend. There's another game. Huh?
Huge Smash Up, huge one.
Smash Up was gigantic. Yeah. Yep. For sure. That was fun. I don't know. I got sick of it. After a while. There's so many things for it now, right? Like, holy shit.
There's in a lot of these games, there's a certain level of, even like with the X-Wing that we talked about, like at some point it's just so much that you can't keep up and you're like, okay, whatever. And you move on to another game.
There's so I've definitely recently talked about, and we played it on here. Sausage Sizzle came out from 25th Century this past year. The original came out in 2012.
Huh. Yeah, I still haven't played that.
Also super fun to play.
Oh, Among the Stars. That doesn't seem like that old of a game.
No, it doesn't. That
Huh.
was 2012, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
Did you ever play Yido?
The Queen, was that Days of Wonder, Ito?
No. You're thinking Yamatai, I think.
Oh, that's it. I like Yamatai.
It is a good game, yeah. But Yido came out in 2012, and Yido is kind of like Lords of Waterdeep in a way, but it got overshadowed because of the, well, Lords of Waterdeep did it a little bit more streamlined, a little more gateway, I think, and that's what helped it. Plus the D&D thing, right?
Sure.
But Yido, thank you. Spelled Wedo. But it's really good. I would highly recommend it if you like Lords of Waterdeep. It's got like it's got a lot of similarities to it, but it does some different stuff too. So it's been a long time since I played it. As I'm starting to talk about it, I'm like, wait, am I sure that it plays that way? You know, so I don't want to go into details, but yeah.
That's good to know. One of your favorite games came out this year. The quintessential pirate game.
Oh, yeah, it was mentioned in here. I was thinking, do I click on the mention of Libertalia or go into the rant again, or do I leave it alone?
I like Libertalia. I mean, I know you have your things on it. I think it's a good game. It is.
I mean, my rant comes with a disclaimer that I'm sure it's a good game. I was told, I don't remember who, I was told when I was asking that I wanted to have a game that let me feel like being a pirate. And they pointed me to this game. This one definitely is blah, blah, blah. And I get it. You don't feel like a pirate at all. You're just playing numbers down. and so it soured me on the whole thing. I did think I need to give it another try. And not only that, but I bought the Stone Mayor Libertalia thing. Still haven't learned it because I'm still soured. That's so stupid.
I get it.
It's totally stupid. I'm sure it's a great game. People love it. So
it is a good one. I mean, it's still in the top 600.
Yeah.
Mice and Mystics came out this year, and I love the lore of Mice and Mystics. I love the initiative, how they did initiative in that game for how people were going.
I don't remember how that runs. I only played the first mission, getting out of the little gel thing, and then the next mission, which was, or no, the one after that. Basically, I got out of the house, but I never played after that.
So if you're playing a 4-player game, you have each of your 4 mice, right? There's a character card for your mouse, and then there are the baddies for the scenario. So you might have that rat. Or maybe 2 rats or
spiders or something. Yeah.
Right. So then you take whatever is in that scenario, those cards you shuffle up and you draw them top to bottom, and that's your initiative. So you could start the round with baddie, and then we get to go, or it could be us bad. I love the way that initiative track kind of worked, and then obviously the lore of how things were happening and the quest when you got through the tunnel and you heard the noise from the kitchen. Do you go up to the kitchen or do you continue? Like, you have these little red herrings here and there. Like, it's fun.
I didn't have any problem with the game. It was more of, I was more interested in the story than I was the gameplay after about 4 plays. I think it's 4 plays to get, maybe 3 plays to get to where I did. But I was like, I kind of want to just rather read the story than. After a while, it felt very samey. And I get that with a lot of dungeon crawlers. Sure. It's almost like when I play D&D, I intersperse role-playing with stuff because, you know, if it's just all dungeon crawl, then it gets boring for me after a while. Right. But yeah, that is really what it is dungeon crawl with a story, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a good game and everything. I just couldn't keep with it.
Yeah, it's a good one. The only other one on my list, I got 2. Legends of Andor came out in 2012.
Legends of Andor. Oh yeah. Okay, so I had that game. I played it many times. I liked it for a while until I started noticing an issue which was you get punished for killing bad guys, and I don't like that.
Mm.
It's a game mechanic because it cuts down your time every time you do it. And I get it as a game mechanism, but it just feels bad that, oh, we killed a bad guy, now we have less time to do stuff. Like I feel punished for doing the thing, and I didn't like that thematically. I haven't gotten past the second thing on that either. I'm horrible at doing these campaign things.
Yeah, and you're not. That's not a good thing for you.
I
Yeah.
stopped getting campaign games like this because of that. Like I have a hard time finishing them at all. I get bored with the gameplay and move on.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
The only other one on my list, I don't know if you've ever played it. It was by Victory Point. I think Victory Point Games did it. Darkest Night.
No.
Very pandemic-esque. It's cooperative. There's obviously the big bad, but the way the game is playing, I love the art. I love the style. It seemed like there was this huge, deep world that you're playing in, trying to do the thing in a very simple kind of way that the game is being played. The big box version, the second edition or the big box version came with, Victory Point. That all had the standees, the wooden laser, whatever standees, but you're trying to protect the village, and that big bad is kind of just going around all over the place. Then the second edition came with just an upgrade facelift to everything. It had minis and upgraded art, and it was a big production.
Oh, that's cool.
What Victory Point is used to. Yeah, they came with the napkin. Yep.
What?
That version did. The other one, I don't know if the big box version did.
Napkin. What? Why?
I have it right here, actually. It's right there.
Huh.
The second edition.
Okay.
That one in the red box, the Victory Point, there's this original edition, it didn't have as much of a footprint on the table, but there was a lot of game in that box. And then the expansion obviously added more, or the second edition added a whole bunch of more stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
The only other one I've got on my list is Spartacus.
Oh, that was 2012?
Yeah, I know. I thought it was later too, but yeah. It was a good game that I played kind of like a lot for the first month of having it, and then it kind of fell off. But good arena fighter. Not usually my thing, but
I've heard really good things about that one.
Yeah, there was an interesting thing about it was that you could win by not winning fights because there was this background kind of like influence way of doing things too. So you had to be careful. It was almost like, how like in Seven Wonders duels where you're like, yeah, I'm going along making points, but I got to watch how many shields you have of this or, that kind of thing. So, or how far along on the combat track or how many science, like you had to keep watching other aspects of just the fight going on in the middle. So, yeah.
Cool.
Cool. All right. So
definitely a good year.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely has a lot of games that launched other games, I think, or influenced many other games. So
yeah, for sure. But also a lot of games that stuck around, right? You're talking how many games have been published since 2012? So 12 years later, there are games here that we would still pull off the shelf and play. Like Seasons is a go-to for me. Targi is a go-to for me. Like, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So I have we're gonna take a hard turn now. Yeah, I have a little bit of a quiz for you. Great. Concerning Marvel movies that I warned you about earlier.
You did.
So we've done this in past episodes where I have told you the first sentence said in a Marvel movie, and you try to guess what Marvel it is. Then we did the last sentence in every movie, and maybe I did one before the other. You do not historically do well in these.
No. Nope.
So I made it harder by putting the first sentence that said at the 42-minute mark of Marvel movies. So we'll see if we're going to see if the comments can get to it before you.
The only thing that's going to save me here is that they're unedited sentences.
Exactly. Yeah, there are some that like I did not redact anything. There are some that might even say names that make it easy. There's
Mhm.
one I'm going to try not to use an accent when I say it. Um, it's kind of yeah, and then some of them are just going to be insane. There's no way,
Right.
but we'll
All right.
see. We'll see. Haven't seen enough of them. I will. Well, they need to see more because they're all good. There's one that's not. But anyway,
They're all good.
eh, they all have their differences.
Yeah.
So
Some are better than others, but they're all good.
there's one Marvel movie in the MCU universe that I believe is DC quality. So I'll just say.
Eternals.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the first sentence.
All right. Well, give me a hint though. Does it begin with Eternals?
No. Here's the first sentence.
Oh, that's a
for
good question
first
though. Is
question.
this? Oh, that's interesting. Pablo 42, Marvel 42. These are all MCU, right? Iron
Yeah,
Man. Okay.
all MCU based stuff. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So um, I think there's 26, 28 movies total. I've got 21 questions or 22 questions for you. So
Okay.
they're in there somewhere.
Uh-huh.
All right. Here's the first sentence for you. I know a rogue soldier when I see one.
This is gonna be so bad.
That's a good one. That's a good one. If you know it, you know it. Yeah.
I know, but it's so. I mean, it's Winter Soldiers. My answer is Winter Soldier.
You're just gonna say that for all of them, aren't you?
Yep.
You can't think it. Think it. I mean, it's a good guess, but
Oh, technically, Ed Norton's Hulk is in MCU now, isn't it?
yeah, Ed Norton is considered to be in MCU now.
I know a rogue soldier when I see one.
Universal Soldier is not a MCU.
No, I know a rogue.
You got a lot of guesses, but I don't see a first. I don't see. Someone said First Blood. Oh, Evan, of course. I don't see the correct answer though. This was. I was so happy to get this at the 42-minute mark because, yeah, of course you think Civil War. Of course you think Winter Soldier. It's neither one of those.
No, what's coming to mind is Thunderbolt Ross talking about Ed Norton, but I don't think you would start with the Hulk. Was it what's his name? Fuck me. Was it Robert Redford's character?
No.
Fuck. All right, I got nothing. I'll say Hulk.
Robert Pierce is his name.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not the Hulk. It is Captain Marvel.
Huh.
It's when Nick is driving Carol Danvers to go to the archives or whatever, stuff like that. She kind of tells him a little bit about herself, and he's like, "Yeah, I can see it. I know a rogue soldier when I see it." It's you would never guess, right? Because you're thinking soldier. It's all military and stuff. Yeah. Yep. That's how this is going to go. All right.
Super great.
Here's the next one. Some of these I included maybe even an extra bit of something just to help you along, right?
Cool. Yeah, to help you. What's my record in these? 3?
3 is the most gotten. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. How about this one? My boss expects a briefing pretty much now, so that's all the head start you're going to get. I didn't remember this one.
You know what you do to me, you're just going to get back, right? Like it's going to be worse for you next time. Okay. My boss expects a briefing. All right, my boss. Who's saying boss? It's got to be Natasha. So,
Nope.
You
have to be more specific, Kabuki.
I want to say Avengers 2.
Nope. It is Captain America: Civil War.
God damn it!
It's when Sharon Carter is talking to Cap, like telling him he's got to run, kind of thing.
Okay.
All right. Ready for a hard one?
Yep.
All right. You may all go. The deviants are gone.
What the fuck?
There's only one movie this could be.
I mean, there's one of 28, right?
Wow.
Deviants. Who's saying something about the deviants?
So far, you have the same score as all of the comments, so
That's great.
don't feel too bad.
That's super good. These are very difficult.
It's sad that everybody has the same score as Evan, who keeps naming movies that have nothing to do with.
Yeah. I liked his Pelican brief before.
Yeah.
Who would say something about deviants? Nick Fury might say something about deviants. Strange might say something. I feel like Cumberbatch deviance is in his vernacular. Let's go. Let's go Strange one.
That would be the Eternals.
Great.
The deviants were the monsters that they killed. That's what they called
God
them.
damn it. Were they deviants?
Yeah.
Fuck
I
that.
know. It's a weird thing.
Fuck
This
that.
is whenever Salma Hayek tells the others they can go. I don't know what her name is. This is the movie that's DC quality. Sorry, it just wasn't good. All right.
It did start with Eternals. You lied to me.
What was that?
It did start with Eternals.
It didn't start. It started one. All right. Here's the next one.
No. I said the movie you said was DC quality. I said, does it start with Eternals?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. How about this one?
Hey, Rob.
But I'm actually organizing another revolution. I don't know if you'd be interested in something like that. Do you reckon you'd be interested?
Reckon?
Uh,
So I want to say Cap and Winter Soldier, but because of the revolution part. Is that Clint? Should get a point if I can get the character. Who would say Reckon? Who would say Reckon? Oh, the revolution. Oh, that would be Cap. Cap would say that. All right. Winter Soldier.
nope.
Fuck. Is it Cap at least?
No, it was so hard not to do a New Zealand accent with it. But
Okay.
it's when Korg is talking to Thor in Ragnarok, and he's telling him that he got put in prison for starting a revolution. He handed out pamphlets, but nobody showed up.
Okay.
All right. How about this one? That's a lot. Memory Lane. Replay your significant memories now at a discounted price. Yeah. This is a hard one.
Say it again.
Oh, you haven't seen Ragnarok? You need to see that one. That's a good one.
Ragnarok's good, yeah.
That's a lot. Memory Lane. Replay your significant memories now at discounted price.
That sounds like something Tony would say. Let's do Iron Man 3.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
This is going swimmingly.
I did not remember this scene whenever I did this one either. So, all right. How about?
It has to be one of those sarcastic characters, right? Tony or Strange.
It was an advertisement as he was walking by. It wasn't even a character.
Oh, come on.
It's what happens at 42. But they stand on a thing and it reads them and then it shows a memory. Like it's a whole scene thing.
Yeah.
It's not like it was like something in the background. But
yeah, no, I remember. They were in the street and that whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. All right. How about this one? Here. Now you're the shocker.
I the Spider-Man movie with home in the title.
You're gonna need to be a little bit more specific.
No Way Home. No Way Home. I'll go with No Way Home. It's one of those. I forget what they are. It's not Homecoming. Is it Homecoming?
How about 1, 2, or 3? You want to do that? If you don't remember which.
Yeah, 1. Spider-Man 1.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Literally,
the Vulture. Right after he kills Shocker,
Yeah.
picks up the thing and hands it to the other guy.
It was a shocker.
Hey, you got one.
I got one.
Nice. Okay, time to not get one.
Perfect.
Ready?
Yeah.
I speak to them.
You couldn't give me the next line to that? Nothing?
It wouldn't help. It was something like I hear things. I can do anything. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it was. It's a good guess.
I speak to them?
Yep.
I speak to them. The fuck? Oh, man. What are you speaking to? All right, so something. Fuck it, whatever. Off Earth. So Guardians.
Not a single person in comments has gotten one right. So you're actually winning.
Could it be Strange? No, because you just did a Strange. What else? All right, how about Black Panther?
Nope. That's not a bad guess, though. It is Hank talking to Scott when showing him the ants and Ant-Man.
God damn it. It makes sense after you say it, too.
Yeah. All right, how about this one? Now, I thought we had a deal. Stay close, check in, don't take any chances.
Is that Clint in Avengers?
No? Kind of close, though. Ooh, got close there. Still no cigar. Looking at the comments.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
All right. It is Avengers Infinity War, and it's Natasha talking to Wanda after they save her and Vision.
Okay.
All right, how about this one? There's a name in this one. Might help.
Wonderful.
Right?
Yeah.
Nick was a deputy chief of SHIELD station there, and he comes to me with a plan. Had the right character, though, Kabuki. So.
What? Say it again. I don't know what.
Nick was deputy chief of the SHIELD station there, and he comes to me with a plan. Nope.
God, I got nothing.
Take a wild guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Marvel poster of characters who I should pick. I mean, it feels like it's a Cap. They're talking about the light. No, they're not talking about the lighthouse. I'll Winter Soldier. That's my go-to.
It's Winter Soldier.
No shit.
Yes, that's Pierce talking to Captain America about Nick. I almost said Nick Cage about Nick Fury after he thinks he's dead. Right.
Okay.
All right. See, there you go. All right.
That was an easy one. Give me a hard one.
So you got two now. Give you a hard one. Okay. How about this? This is literally what the captions say.
Great.
So the captions say, let me highlight so I don't have to keep. There you go. Bunch of French shouting, and then, hey, there he is.
I hate you so much.
There was like 2 minutes of it just going French people shouting, and then I could have just left it at that, but I waited until I got something.
All right.
Hey, there he is.
That's fine. That's fine. So it's France. Where are
Nope.
they in France? Is it Civil War?
Nope. We
Fuck.
already did Civil War.
So you're only doing these. So one of each. That's it.
Well, I mean, I'm doing whatever said at the 42 minutes, so yeah.
That was stupid. Sorry.
That's fine. It is Iron Man 2, right after Hammer breaks Ivan Vanko out of prison. It's apparently a French prison. So it's all the French people yelling as he's getting broken out. And then
because
Hammer says, hey, there he is.
yeah, because they were in Monaco.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. Damn it.
How about this one? It started glowing really weirdly when Darbin opened that first jump point.
All right, so jump points is Guardians. Darwin. It's Guardians 1 or 2 then. Let's whatever one I pick is going to be wrong, so I'll go with Guardians 2.
Nope. It's Marvels. The Marvels.
Oh, the Marvels. Oh, the
she's talking about her Bengal thing.
Yeah.
Started glowing weird when there's a name in it, Darbin, which I guess is the bad guy. That bad guy was forgettable. Was the only problem I had with that movie. Otherwise, I love the movie.
Yep, great movie. I just did not like the bad guy in that one.
I didn't even hate the bad guy. I just didn't care one way or the other.
Yeah,
like the heroes were good enough for the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great movie.
Loki and the glowing balls. All right, how about this one? Oh God. Okay, sorry. Wow, freaking beautiful. This is amazing.
There's more there, right?
That's all it is, and I'll even give you this clue. The people saying it aren't even credited in the movie. So don't kill yourself on this one, is what I'm saying.
Cool. So let's go with Guardians 1, because that feels like it's something that's...
Nah. It's Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, cool.
They're walking into the big hotel that they're staying in, and some kids say, whoa, freaking beautiful. And you never see those kids ever again. Oh, God. I see where this is going, Andrew. Mm-hmm. That's the last time you get up there.
I like it.
All right, how about this one? Oh, God, thank God, oh.
I mean, it's just not... It's ridiculous.
I know. There wasn't anything for a long time before or after that, so I can't do much with it.
All right, Guardians 1.
No, it was the Incredible Hulk. It was whenever Betty Ross finds out that he's still alive.
Okay.
They hug in the rain.
Okay.
All right, how about this one? There's some bad ones. Sorry, I can't help what happens at 42. So.
Sure. Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, this is a good one. Sort of. I mean, at least it's something to do with the blood, right?
Uh-huh.
Spread out. The buyer is likely already here.
Fuck. Again with Winter Soldier. Cap and Winter Soldier, the TV show. Because of the buyer. So that's got to be Agent 13. So that is Cap. Did we do Civil War yet? Was that one of them?
That was already done.
All right, so it's not Civil War. We did Winter Soldier, obviously.
We did.
The buyer. It's not Cap 1. Cool. Avengers 2.
Nope, it's Black Panther. When they go into that club and they're looking for Claw.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
I forget where that is. France or something like that? No, it's in like China,
Isn't that
Asian
Madripoor?
country. At
Aren't
least.
they in Madripoor?
Yeah, maybe. Um, yeah, I haven't seen a correct guess in the comments yet. How about this? This one's bad. Don't take too long on it. Watch it coming up here.
Oh my god.
I had to turn captions on to hear what he was saying,
All right.
and that's
Well,
how much it didn't matter in the plot. It
coming
is
up
a
here.
character that says it, but it doesn't matter.
Strange one.
No, Iron Man one.
Great.
It's whenever Tony's coming home from being captured in the cave, and Rode's like helping him down the ramp.
Okay.
Yeah, not a good one. How about this one? That was a pretty good plan.
Yep. That's good. That's easy. That's it's so good.
You can think about that one.
Fuck. All right. Avengers 2. Ultron.
Nope. Guardians of the Galaxy. Right after they break out of the prison, like
Oh,
immediately, whatever they do, Star Lord goes, "Okay, that was a pretty good plan."
all right.
All right, how about this one? It's a longer one. I told my men they wouldn't be able to kill you if they tried. Glad I was right.
That seems like it should be something you remember.
Oh, I think Kabuki got the Guardians one. Give her a point there. Captain Marvel's already been said. It was the first one.
I should have wrote down all the ones that were already mentioned.
Would have
Couldn't
helped.
kill you if they tried. I told my men they couldn't kill you if they tried.
I need to watch this one again. So good.
We did Winter Soldier. We did Civil War. We did.
That's what we're watching.
What?
Kabuki just got it on the second guess, but it's fine.
Kill you? Avengers 2. Ultron.
Shang-Chi, when he meets his dad for the first time, a note finding out that his dad was behind it, the Mandarin.
Okay. Good job.
Okay. Here's a unhelpful one. Guards, please help. It is a very important character that says it. It's not just some rando. I'm going to give Kabuki 2 points because she guessed Shang-Chi for the last one.
Is it Panther 2?
Nope. It's an old one. Thor. It's Loki yelling for guards whenever Odin falls.
Okay. It's good.
All right. Here's where you get your third point. You ready?
Sure.
You got this one.
Okay.
Just so we're talking about the same thing, time travel.
Endgame?
Yep. When that one popped up, I was like, oh, at least he gets 1 point.
Yeah. Well, at least I didn't do worse than my other challenge.
All right. You got 4 more to go.
Oh my god. I might. Okay.
This one's got a nice long one here. Maybe it'll help.
Probably not.
At this temperature, a person can last for 30 minutes before suffering permanent loss of function, but you'll likely go into shock within the first 2.
feel like that's Hulk, but we already did that. At this temperature,
At least you're on theme, Andrew.
it's not Iron Man because temperature, you're going to shock. What's happening in the cold? What's happening in the cold? We already did. It wouldn't be that. Is it Cap 1?
Nope.
Fuck.
Good guess, though. I mean, it is cold that they're talking about. The ancient one is putting Doctor Strange on a cold mountain, and Doctor Strange won.
All right, fine.
All right, here's your 4th point. Ready?
Okay.
Natasha, no, I think I'm bleeding.
Is it Black Widow?
It's Black Widow.
Okay. I mean, that's not a given.
It's not, because she's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, and people are bleeding around her often.
all the time. Yeah. It's right after they both get into a car wreck from that car chase. So you got 4 points.
Right. 4 points, not bad.
Okay, how about this one? Well, hello, boys. It's not ripe.
Oh, it's Nebula in Guardians. Is it Guardians 1? No.
Which one?
It's where
I mean, one of them was already used. So
yeah, but I didn't write that down. It's the same one where he calls him a trash panda, and he says no, it's way worse. 2. It's 2.
It's 2.
Okay.
Yep. I was so happy whenever that was what it was, right at the 42. It's at 42 minutes, Yondu gets shot in the head and falls, and it's her saying, "Hello, boys."
Yeah.
And then bites it and then spits it out.
Yeah, it's the ripe thing did it. The hello boys could have been anything, but the ripe that was good. Yeah.
5 points.
Not bad.
All right, last one. 2 people talking.
Great.
Neil, not today.
Is it Loki and Iron Man talking?
No.
Fuck.
Felt like this one was fitting for today.
How is it fitting? It come out in 2012?
Oh, I don't know.
Neil. Is it Thanos? We did Endgame and we did Infinity War, right? Those are already guessed?
Yes.
And you're talking movies, you're not talking like what ifs or anything.
Correct.
Who would say Neil? Fuck. We already did Ragnarok, so it can't be that.
The current quote, I'm being asked in the comments, 2 different people talking. Neil, not today.
Damn it.
It's your last question.
Yeah, I got nothing. Everything I can think of has already been used.
I can tell you one of the people you had right.
It's Loki. Who else would say Neil? Thanos would say Neil.
Oh, Rob got it in comments.
I want to look. Oh, me.
You could get 6 points if you get it.
Thor 2.
No, that was guess and comments though. I could see why. No, it was Cap and Loki. First time they meet in Avengers. I said it was, a good one to end on because it came out in 2012. We were right.
Okay.
And, of course, now's not the time to kneel to dictators.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Well, we'll see. We don't get political on this show. Tomorrow's gonna.
We don't, but
it's good. Tomorrow's gonna be so fucking brutal. Regardless of what side you're on, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Hey, Matt, you just missed all of the MCU quizzes and all of the board games. You missed the whole show. Hey.
Did you see it, though? Yeah, that I did better than I thought I would. But
you did better than the other ones, and this was a harder test.
Yeah, but the ones I got they seemed easy.
Yeah, I can't help what pops up at 42 minutes, though. So
right, and you can't help what pops up at first line and last line. Like that's just the thing. Yeah,
you would think there'd be a lot more, especially the first line or last line. I mean, the last line of Iron Man is "I am Iron Man," so that was a gimme, right? But that's not all of them are that easy,
Right.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
No, that was good. That was definitely fun.
Yeah, I'll get some more done because it's always fun watching you squirm. So,
dude, thanks. I really appreciate it.
And we'll go into Star Wars next.
That could be equally as painful. Yeah.
No, that might be even easier.
I don't know about that. It might. I'd be curious to see, but it might.
Could be fun.
Like those Star Wars movies I've seen multiple times. A lot of the MCU I've only seen once.
That's true. I mean, Shang-Chi I've seen twice. And Doctor Strange Madness one I've only seen once. Marvels I've only seen once. A lot of the newest ones I've only seen once or maybe twice, but yeah. And going through these and making these, it always makes me want to go watch it. In fact, after I watched the Doctor Strange one where they did the memory thing, I kept watching for a little while. I was like, wait, I'm supposed to be doing it. Kept moving on. So.
That's awesome.
Over MCU. Well, the MCU is not over you, Matt.
Matt, if you haven't watched Agatha, watch Agatha.
Oh, yeah, Agatha's good. And you only need to have seen WandaVision before. It's not attached to anything else, really. So it's not like you've had to catch up to all this other stuff. So
that's true. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, there you go. Well, then you're not over it, right?
Yeah, Wanda's great.
Doesn't sound like you're over it.
I saw something. I don't want to say it. That would be a spoiler.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk after we hit the end button here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a pretty meaty episode here.
Yeah, it was good.
2012 was an amazing year for board games. I love it. Definitely helped get me into Kickstarter and all that stuff and into the industry. So it's a good year for me. Liked it.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, same with me. A lot of important games I played from the beginning of my hobby, of being in the hobby, came from this year. But a lot of them they still hold up. They're still good games that are on people's shelves, and people are playing them, and you see them at tables at conventions. Like, there's a lot of good stuff that came out in 2012.
Oh, Loki 2 was really good. I really enjoyed it. Of course, I'm going to say that about most things. Not all things, but most things. I'm very forgiving when it comes to the things I love.
Loki 2 is great. Loki 2 is very, very. I mean, both seasons are amazing.
All right. Well, best game year. That's we'll see. We're going to dive into the other years some other time, but we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll do 2013. We haven't discussed that yet. We haven't talked about what we're doing, but we'll do it soon.
We gotta do movies, unless we do the Agatha show.
Maybe. Yeah.
Which we can make.
Maybe
We
that-
can actually make that one of the Scryfy if you want to do that.
Yeah, we could do like a side one of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Everybody, talk to you later. Go to our Discord, hang out, talk to us. Have fun. Hit the like button and all that stupid stuff.
Yeah, do the thing.
Yeah, do the thing. God, what's wrong with you? Do it. God.